Hi, and welcome to another car conversation, groovy citizens of Earth. Actually, I should say good afternoon. So, today's car conversation is the last in my perspective series, and I have really had, I'm gonna say, a lot of fun breaking down the unpacking, if you will, the video as a whole. And so hopefully you all have gotten something out of it. I know I have, and I will tell people in a minute, I love to go back and watch my own videos because sometimes it gives me the peace of mind that I need in that moment, or it's something that I said blesses me in the moment when I go back and look at it in a way that it didn't when I initially heard it. So hopefully you all have gotten something out of this and you have decided you are going to change your perspective. So today's topic is your mindset matters. I'm gonna say that one more time. Your mindset matters. I'm not weary, I'm wiser. Oh, that's powerful, y'all. I'm not weary, I'm wiser. I'm not toxic, I'm triumphant. I see this thing differently. This season that you've entered into did not come to break you. Can I say that one more time? This season that you're in right now, yes, you. I'm talking about you. Don't go looking around to your left or your right. I'm talking about you. This season that you're in right now, it did not come to break you. And I need you to understand that. It came to build you into the man or the woman that God has destined you to be. Change your perspective. And this quote is by Marcus Elevation Taylor. You guys, I'm telling you, if you are not already subscribed to his YouTube channel and you don't follow him on Instagram, please make sure you do. Just because, like I said, he had that video is just so powerful. It just, in fact, I've listened to it twice, actually 3 times since I started talking about this whole perspective deal. But I want to just kind of unpack a few things as I head home. I have had a very productive day. I just met a friend of mine and we were talking about this book that we published about a month ago. Actually, we published it back in August. And so it's been doing great. And so I had to take him some flyers for it. But I also, and we were talking about another big, this next project, I don't even have time to unpack that, but that's going to be a good one. Do you hear what I'm telling you? So anyway, I just want to unpack this because I don't know who needs to hear what I just shared with you. And of course, as always, I'm going to put that in the description box because I need you all to truly, truly understand that whatever season you are in right now in your life, doesn't matter the season, but whatever season that you're in right now, it did not come to break you, but it came to build you up. Some of you all right now are in a season, I'm going to say, of loneliness. Excuse me, y'all, my sinus is draining bad. But you're in, and I say loneliness from, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of you're not in a relationship. And maybe this time last year you were in a relationship, but right now you're not. And you look at other people and you think, wow, everybody else is happy. First of all, don't make that assumption because everybody is not happy. Let me just say that. Everybody that you see that looks happy, they're not necessarily happy. I've said this before, but people will put on the face and show you what they want you to see when they come out in public. Because let's face it, I mean, who walks around well, now some people will, let me not say that. Come on, people. Some people will tell you when they're not happy, but others, they just go through life. They always have a smile on their face, and you wouldn't know that they were unhappy unless they told you. You know why? Because they don't allow what they're going through to dictate their attitude and their mood. And I'm one of those people. You would never know unless I just told you how I was feeling, because I don't let whatever I may be dealing with or going through affect how I treat other people, because they have nothing to do with why I'm feeling the way I'm feeling. But I digress. So if you're find yourself in that situation and you say, well, Dag, this time last year I was in a relationship, I had somebody, and now I'm alone, and this, that, and the third. you're in that situation for a reason. See, because I'm going to tell you what I do know, and that is that God can't do what he needs to do a lot of times because we're so preoccupied. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And if you say you don't, you're telling the tale. But a lot of times God is speaking to us, but we're so caught up in that relationship that we can't hear God, or we're caught up in whatever it is that you're caught up in, and you can't hear God, but he's speaking. Now, he's got to let some things happen so that he can get your full undivided attention. So that's why I said whatever season that you're in right now, you may be in a season of hardship. You may be in a season that you're in between jobs, or in between relationships, or maybe wherever it is that you're living. You know, you're kind of in between wherever it is that you're living. Whatever that season may be, you're in that season for a reason, and that reason is not to break you. That reason, is to get your full undivided attention. God wants to build you up. One thing that I do know is that God is not the kind of individual that just wants to see us suffer. I don't think God sits back and delights in watching us suffer ever. And so if you're going through something, just know that God hasn't forgotten about you. God is not sitting there going, I don't even care, whatever. No, that's not it at all. You're in that situation for a reason. So instead of sitting there talking about where, I'm giving up on God, because I've heard people say that, and that just makes my skin crawl, but that's a whole other video for a whole other time. But instead of sitting there, getting in your feelings and getting mad with God and saying, you know what, forget it, then I'm just not going back to church. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the other. Instead of getting in that place, what I want you to do is sit down, find you a quiet place, wherever that place may be, doesn't matter to me, but get in that quiet place where there are no interruptions, not your phone, your children, your significant other, your neighbors, the television, nothing. No interruptions at all. And sit down and say, all right, God, I think you've been trying to get my attention for a while now. Well, you have my full undivided attention. What is it that you want me to see? What is it that you are trying to tell me, God? What is it that you're trying to show me? And I promise you, when you decide to get in your quiet place and start talking to God, and then sit back and wait for him to listen, he will always reveal himself. Always, he will reveal himself to you. But you've got to get to a place where you can receive what it is that he's been trying to tell you or trying to show you. Because for a lot of you all, God's been trying to show you for a long time. You just haven't been in a place where you could truly receive it because you had too much else, too many other things going on, too many distractions. And so I just wanted to drive that home, that you're not weary, you're wiser. See, life happens, and y'all know that. Life is always going to happen. Life happens every day. Now, what you're going through may be different than your neighbors, and what your neighbor's going through may be different than what I'm dealing with, and what I'm dealing with is going to be different than what somebody else is dealing with, but everybody goes through something. But the thing is don't think of it as being weary. Think of it as being wiser. Think of it as being wiser. See, because when you know better, you do better, right? And a lot of times, if things had not happened, you wouldn't be in the wise place that you are right now. Ooh, that's a free one, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all have that one for free. And then it says that you're not toxic, you're triumphant. I don't know about you all, but I am triumphant. And all that I see, think, and or do. I serve a God that sits high and looks low. I'm thankful that I serve a God that can turn my bad situations into good things. See, because here's the thing, and I've said this before too. Sometimes that thing that you think that you're losing out on, that thing that didn't work out, It wasn't because God just wanted to hurt you and he wanted to sit there and watch you suffer because he took delight in it. No, he let those things happen for a reason. And again, those things had to happen in order to get you where you are right now. Look at your lives right now. Right now. Just sit back and just think about your life right now. Can you honestly say that wherever you are mentally and or physically, but right now I'm specifically talking about mentally, were you mentally where you are right now 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago? Chances are you probably weren't. Life happened, and so it made you a better person, a stronger person, and a wiser person. And hold on, I'm pulling up to this light so I can bring this on home. So again, this season that you've entered into, it did not come to break you. It came to build you. Build you into the man or into the woman that God has destined you to be. And all you have to do is change your perspective. And we're going to end on that note, because here's the other thing that I find. A lot of times people miss out on great opportunities because they don't realize that they are destined for great things. I tell myself every day when I wake up, first of all, I thank God for allowing me to wake up. And then I say, Lord, thank you for the great things that you're going to allow to happen in my life today. Because I guarantee you, every day, if you really stop and look, every day you have something great that happens in your life. Now, you may not acknowledge it, but I know I try to make sure I acknowledge it, because I don't ever want a day to pass where I'm not acknowledging God's greatness in my life. But I digress. But every day I'm thanking God for something great that's going to happen in my life. I expect it. Do you understand what I'm saying? I don't just sit back and go, okay, well, if it happens, cool. No, I expect it. I expect something great to happen in my life every single day. Every day. And I want you to start thinking the same way. Because if you change your perspective, I promise you, life will be so much better. Because too often, like I said, too often we miss out on all of the great things that life has to offer because we're not expecting it. Some of y'all just assume that when you go to bed at night, you're going to wake up in the morning. That is my goal, and that's my prayer. But I'm one of these people. I'm at a place in my life now that I realize that, I've done all that I'm supposed to do. I know that there's more out there for me to do. And so I have no other choice but to thank God every day that he allows me to wake up, because I know there's goodness in me. And no matter what I may be going through or dealing with or coming out of, it was never meant to break me in the first place. God had to get my attention. And see, what I do know for a fact is that God will get your attention the best way that he knows how for you. See, the way he gets your attention may not be the same way he needs to get my attention versus somebody else. So let that marinate in your spirit. You guys, that's it. That's all I have. I have pulled up to my house and I need to go in and sit down and get my life together for the rest of the day anyway. And I'm just going to relax and chill. Hopefully you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I know I did. Y'all, God is good. God is so good. And I cannot stress that enough. More times than not, you hear people say, if I had 10,000 tongues, Lord, I couldn't thank you enough. And that is so true. If I had 10,000 tongues, I couldn't begin to thank God for all that I'm thankful for all of the wonderful things that are happening in my life, even as I speak, all the doors that are opening for me and all the doors that are closing that no man can ever open again. Oh, y'all, that's a whole nother video for a whole nother time. If you're new to watching my videos, I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for giving me just a little bit of your time. Come on back and join me tomorrow, where I'll have another topic for you. If this is not your first rodeo, welcome back. Missed you guys. Always a pleasure to see you. And y'all go out there, enjoy the rest of your day. Have an amazing weekend on purpose. But don't forget to be thankful, and don't forget to change your perspective. Until next time, take care.